See this old iron? My mother kept this iron because it belonged to her mother, Annie Mae, who kept it because it belonged to her mother, Mama T, short for Thessalonia. Mama T was a slave first in Mississippi, then Arkansas, and that's where Annie Mae was born. But let me tell you about this iron and why it's so special. Everybody said that Annie Mae Tuck, my grandmother, was the best ironer in the state of Arkansas. She would put that iron on the stove and would take it off at just the right time each time to get that perfect crisp and smooth. And she sang from the minute her feet touched the floor in the morning till her body lay down at night.
Wait in the water, wait in the
Well.
water, children, wait in the water.
Now, Idella Poole, the white woman that Annie Mae worked for, was always the talk of the town because of her beautiful wardrobe. Annie Mae always kept her looking to a T. Now, you know an iron can be used for some other things besides that, although that's what it's mostly used for. But sometimes it could be used as a door prop to let a cool breeze come through. The story was that one day, this was in the spring of 1922, a mad dog came up in the yard. Annie Mae was washing clothes in the wash tub. Before she knew it, the dog was near about 6 feet away from her baby girl, who was playing on the porch. That was my mama, Jessie. So, Annie Mae got real still and whispered some words. Then she went invisible and slipped up to the porch. She went into the core of her soul, into the knowing part, the place that folds space, freezes time, shape shifts. It happened quick. Then she came back visible and was standing between her baby girl and that mad dog. The iron caught her eye. That day it was being used to prop open the front door. With one fell swoop, she snatched up that iron and yelled out, "Get thee behind me, Satan." She raised the iron up over her head and said some words she had heard her Aunt Callie say to protect them from the KKK when they first got free. By the way, by the way, I'm shot away. Anyway, that dog got unmad quick and went to crying and running. Just as Annie Mae was about to give him a permanent headache, they say the iron must have had some kind of magical power, because even though Annie Mae never actually struck the dog, there was an imprint right in the center that matched the shape of that iron, and he never acted mad again, though he was cross-eyed from that day. Nobody could ever explain it. But Callie was my great aunt, Annie Mae's aunt. And down home, everybody knows about the legend of Callie Tuck. She knew things. She was a true conjure woman. Oh, they say she could walk through storms and snatch up the lightning and use it to heat up her medicine pot. They say she mixed her healing salve with magic from the full moon to heal the wounds of every creature walking up on two or down on four. She was a healer. She knew about special words and prayers and things that worked like magic. And her wash tub, by day it was just a wash tub. But by night, she used it as a medicine pot for whatever healing was needed. So, this was a special wash tub, and some folks say that's why Annie Mae's laundry came out extra clean and bright, like new every time, because she had inherited this wash tub from her Aunt Callie Tuck. Now, some of you may be wondering how Annie Mae knew how to be invisible. Well, she learned that from Callie Tuck, too. First child, Aunt Callie told Annie Mae, "This is holy ground. Wherever you are, know that the ancestors are here. the presence of miracles, the very Spirit of God, always right here ready to stroke, stroke, or cloak. Hear what I say now. Whatever it is you need at the time, the ancestors can help you open yourself and receive God's will. That's how you invoke the power. You know what I mean? Then the Spirit can come forth and do things through you. Supernatural to some, but natural to others. Callie Tuck took Annie Mae's face in her hands. You know what I mean, child? Annie Mae felt the same energies and saw the same visions like her Aunt Callie. She understood. It was something in her bones. Wasn't many come this way got the eye, Callie continued. You the only one I know of in this generation that's got it. Annie Mae looked deep into her aunt's eyes and told her, yes, ma'am. I feel it. Callie Tuck knew it anyway. She knew Annie Mae could understand. This is what she taught her about going invisible. See yourself moving without being seen. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Ola, sinana, tonga, hedanana. Send a thought to those you need to be hidden from to freeze in time. Redirect their thinking, their seeing. Time kaboom. Lili shante, shoo, shoo, shoo. Now you remember these words I tell you, and you can go invisible when you need it. Annie Mae repeated the words until she knew them by heart. See, what you're doing, child, is asking the ancestors to open up the way, light the way for you. Just get real still. Say these words and see what happens. But don't play around with it. It ain't nothing to play with, you hear me? Callie admonished. Yes, ma'am, Annie Mae said. The first time Annie Mae had to go invisible was when she was 12 years old and on her way back from delivering some of Mama T's canned pears. All of a sudden, 3 white boys, big teenagers, jumped out from the woods, laughing and hollering, "Come here, gal!" The one boy reached out to grab Annie Mae, but she took off running. Her legs were, though longer than most 12-year-old girls, were no match for these grown-up boys. They soon caught up to her and circled her. One of them said, "We've been watching you, little gal, and we want some of that poontang." The others hooted, laughed, and slapped their thighs, and yelped in agreement. They pushed her to the ground, her hands dug into the dirt, dry and dusty from the August sun. Annie Mae was praying, and then she remembered. She saw herself moving without being seen. Then she shouted the special words to go invisible. Shoo, 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 ola sinana tonga hedanana, ken kamuna, li shante fichemuna, shoo, shoo, shoo. What the hell is she saying? Just then, Annie Mae began spinning so fast, round and round and round. This nigga must be crazy. Grab her! And with that, a sudden wind came up and Annie Mae leaped into the air, opening her hands to release the dusty dirt, which swirled like a little tornado. In their attempt to grab her, the boys collided. When the dust cleared, they didn't see Annie Mae anywhere. Then ping, 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 they started feeling what felt like little rocks upside their heads. Ow! Ouch! Ow! They exclaimed. They didn't know where these rocks was coming from. Annie Mae had come back visible, but was hiding up in a black walnut tree, using her trusty slingshot, which she always carried to shoot away bobbers and creatures that might come along to shoot these boys with walnuts. "I'm getting out of here," said one boy. "Me too," another agreed and ran off. "Go on and run," said the ringleader. "I'm gonna find that little nigga, yeah. She can't be far." Just then, Annie Mae jumped down from the tree right on the back of this boy, yelling, "Get thee behind me, Satan! By the way, I'm just shied away." Then, using both hands, she smashed the black walnut right in the center of his forehead. Dazed, that boy fell to his knees in pain, and Annie Mae ran off quick, glad to be getting away. Ooh-wee! The knot that rose up on that boy's head. Never did it go down. He was too scared to retaliate and too ashamed to tell anybody that a little 12-year-old colored gal had smashed a knot in his head. Folks called him Knothead after that. But my favorite story was about the wash tub and how it was used for more than just a wash tub. Callie Tuck was 12 years old when she and her mom and daddy were first brought to Old Man Lancaster's plantation in the state of Tennessee. Her daddy, my great-great-great-granddaddy, was a 7-foot tall man straight from Africa. And her mama, my oh, you know. Anyway, she was a mahogany black woman. Beautiful. Men couldn't stand to look at her. Too stunning. Too beautiful. I'm telling you. People say sometimes men lost their minds or went blind and straight out fell dead from looking at her. That's what happened when Callie Tuck and them came to Lancaster. Her mama was named Belle, and her daddy, they called him Fred, but his African name was Neferkara. He knew what his name was and where he come from. He knew his true language and culture. And he passed that on in little pieces as best he could to his family and all those around sensible enough to receive it. He was one that had the eye. By day, he worked hard in the fields, just like everybody else. But by night, he was the healer of all the brothers and sisters wherever he lived, and the white folks too, if they had sense enough to be worthy. Belle worked at the big house, did all the laundry, ironing and such, on all 3 plantations where they had lived. Belle never had to work in the fields. Even though she was not light-skinned, she was treated different, better. Her beauty and sweetness was so overwhelming, it was like she would put a spell on folks. Belle was not only beautiful inside and out, she could also sing like the sweetest bird you ever heard. The sound of her voice accompanied Neferkara when he was healing and laying on hands. It's like they were connected, one spirit working together. Her voice, her humming and wailing brought more healing power to the situation, such that miracles were commonplace wherever they lived. So anyway, like I said, some men would straight out lose their minds from looking at Belle because she was so stunning. At first sight, the Lancaster's boy, their only child, Thurlow, fell in love, or what he thought was love, but he had just went crazy. He went into some type of mania, not sleeping, not eating, for a week. That's how long Belle had been there. This wasn't the first time somebody went crazy over her, so she just tried to stay away from him. Give him a little chance to settle down. At the end of that first week, that fool went to his folks and told them, "I'm gonna take her away and marry her." His daddy told him, "Boy, you done completely lost your damn mind. What you talking about, marrying a nigga girl? A slave? I'll disown you, boy, write you off the damn wheel and throw your ass in the crazy house. I'll see you dead before I see you run away with a slave, disgracing his family. You better get your head straight." But he didn't. That very day, Thurlow shot Belle dead because he knew he could never have her. The sound of the shot cracked through the still sky like a slave driver's whip. Neferkara was almost a mile away tending the tobacco fields when his heart shuddered and he saw Belle as in a dream melting into the earth. In his trance, he leaped into the air, became a black raven, and in seconds was back to a man standing at Belle's side. Callie and the other slaves came running from the fields as the Lancasters dragged Thurlow away, screaming Belle's name. It seemed that time stopped. Neferkara quickly lifted Belle from where she had fallen on the holy ground just beside the old washtub. He gently kissed her open mouth with his and sucked in her last breath. With Callie at his side, he carried Belle deep into the woods. 2 of the slaves, who also had the eye, silently followed with the washtub. They moved with urgency, followed by the wailing women, who, when they arrived at the hush harbor, walked 7 times around the space, speaking Belle's name, singing her voice, singing her song, claiming holy ground. The men stood, left foot forward, so hearts could go forth and stamp out any evil blocking the light. And when the women wailed, the men moaned in accord. Neferkara placed her in the center of this holy ground the others had prepared and laid on hands. He then breathed in the light from all the healing ever had, connected with all the healers ever healed, while he walked around her 7 times. The women brought water from the nearby stream, and after blessing it, prayed as they poured it into the washtub. Callie Tuck's knees were shaking, but she stood still as a tree next to her. She dared not wipe her tears, but she just let them fall at her feet onto the holy ground. Neferkara instructed her to bring the special herbs and oils, the frankincense, hyssop, leaves from the never-die tree, and more. Callie returned with all of it. everything for the transformation, the blessing of her mother Bel. Neferkara bathed her in the blessed water, herbs, and oils. The others circled him. All was quiet except the women who sang for Bel and wailed according to God's will for resolution. Then Neferkara breathed Bel's last breath back into her. All that could be done had been done. They prayed for divine order. It was time to leave things alone, time to let God. They wrapped Bel in the never die leaves and left her for the night. Next day, they were awakened by singing. A beautiful, glorious song was coming from the woods, from the hush harbor. Neferkara, Callie, and all who could hear the song rushed to see. Bel was Bel's voice. Yes, my great-great-great-grandma Bel Tuck come back to life. Bel stood straight up right there in the washtub, light glowing all around, over, under, through her, nothing but light. Everybody said it was that last kiss, the breath he held and gave back to her that did the final magic. Neferkara had visualized her transformation, and his wish that she would not leave them, but become a bird in the morning, singing evermore, was about to come true. She had left that murdered body and flew away as the most beautiful bird, singing the most beautiful song ever heard. The bird Bel watched over Callie and came every night to the willow tree where Neferkara would be waiting to listen to her singing, to spend time with her. They would comfort each other all night sometimes. Neferkara died a year later, they say, from a broken heart. Callie knew, though, that it was just his time to move on, be clothed anew according to God's plan. Not to leave, but just to change and become an ancestor. He was buried under that same willow tree where Bel sang to him. Folks said late at night you could still hear Bel's song and sometimes see two birds sitting in the willow tree. Callie Tuck saw the birds all the time. She knew. She kept doing all the things her parents had taught her and grew in her skill as a healer. She also grew to be over 6 feet tall, taking after her daddy, Neferkara, also known as Fred Tuck. Callie took over doing the laundry for the Lancaster plantation, taking great care of the wash tub that had been part of much healing, much magic. 4 years later, when freedom came, that nut Thurlow had just come home from the asylum, still crazy as hell. One night he thought his own mom and daddy was Yankee soldiers and shot them dead. Seemed like they would have thought to hide those guns. So there was Callie Tuck and the rest of them, free, but with nowhere to go, and nobody to keep them from going or staying. So the newly freed slaves of the Lancaster plantation decided to go ahead and bury the Lancasters and just keep everything going along as it was. Things were so crazy during that time, so nobody ever found out that ex-slaves were running things there at the Lancasters. And whenever a white man was needed, they would put a suit and a hat on Thurlow. They made sure he would stay in the wagon and wave. And he didn't say anything more than good morning or good evening, though he'd constantly mix up which time of day it actually was. Over the years, most of the colored folks ventured off the plantation, looking for a better living, trying to find relatives and loved ones, or just trying to find their way. But Callie Tuck stayed. She had a new husband, Willie Ray, and a son they named Frederick Douglass Tuck. Since Willie Ray never knew his parents, his last name had come from the white man that had owned him, so he took Callie's name. The Tuck family grew and things changed, but that old iron was still used, mostly as a door prop. And the wash tub kept on healing and helping to provide a living right there on the farm they had inherited. Holy ground. Amrata Netamaha.